This time on Woody's Garage. Parts and farts? We have enough of that already.
Ladies and gentlemen, what the hell is that? Well, this freaky looking thing is something I'm throwing together kind of just for fun in a way. It's a Honda Z50. I think it's about a 1970-71 frame that I bought about 2 years ago at the same swap meet that I got the other parts this year at. And it's almost impossible really to get parts for these Z50s without spending a fortune. But what I like to do is, you know, get things cheap, and when I find cheap parts, throw them at it. But they're getting harder and harder to find. So anyway, will this ever become a real thing? I don't know. But, so I was at the, it was Rice-A-Rama swap meet this year. And I already had the frame, like I said. And I walked by a place where this guy had a heap of like tires and stuff like that. And it said, free, you must take all. I said, do I really need to take them all? It was all sorts of shit. And he said, no, I can just take one. And that's a Z50 like front wheel. So I just got that on the back for now. Front, back, yeah, they can be changed out with the hub. The front end, I found in a heap of pile of junk for $5 a piece. It's from a Yamaha Chappie. I used to have a Yamaha Chappie that I never completed, and I just sold it off. But I think a 50cc or 80cc, it was marked on here. I threw these handlebars on it just so I could move it around. Used strips of plastic for temporary hold it down there. They're pretty much useless, but you can kind of steer it around. The wheel is a regular mini bike wheel. What do they call it? The turbine wheel or something? But it will like do for now. I suck spacers in that don't work whatsoever, but I could make some that do. Or I could get a real 50 wheel, which I'm thinking about getting another 50 wheel. Now another thing I got with this is this beautiful seat from a later model Z50. It says 77 to 78. And you know, it's kind of torn up and shitty and everything. I got that for like 15 bucks. It seemed like when I tried to mock it up that this spacing on the newer ones is tighter than the older ones are wider. Of course, everything's better, you know, the older it is. So I've been kind of bending these out, like not trying to mangle them in case I ever want to use it for a more modern biker. Who the hell knows. But anyway, I got a seat for it. Now, for a long time, I've had another Z50 engine. I think it's down there. It's in pretty good shape. That I can also use on it. I have another Z50 gas tank someplace. And, I don't know. I think I'm just kind of like wasting time. But, oh, let me show you something. So the front end might be looking like, hey, yeah, you can use that. But I'll tell you, there's no bearings or anything in it. But it's funny how it kind of matches up nice. Like there's you know, a racer that you can just put some ball bearings in. I loosened up the triple tree here on the bottom. And I've already brought it up this far. I think I can bring it up a little higher so that it matches the tube. Like exactly. And then we got kind of like a chopper front end on the thing, which actually looks pretty cool. And the suspension will probably work better than the stock suspension. Okay, we raised up the bottom triple tree up that far now. And what we need is the big nut for the Z50. Or in this case, maybe the Chappie. Maybe there are parts for it. I don't really know. But something that sucks down here. And I think that would work. Shall we see if we can get that seat on there? Yeah, bend the shit out of stuff. That's nice and smooth looking there, isn't it? Calipers say it should fit. Maybe. We'll do the same to the, we'll wreck the front too, and then we'll see if we can get it on. Okay, I got some threaded rod. This will hold it on temporarily. I can make 2 of these out of this. And you leave a nut on it so that you can kind of fix the threads at the end, but I'm also going to grind them. It's pretty good. Got the rear bolt in, and surprise! They don't line up front there, so the newer style seats are not the older style seats. Not quite sure what I'm going to do there. Look at my wood pile and I'm like, why would I keep a piece of wood that looks like this? Well, because it fits right under the seat. Beautiful. Nice flat seat. Just duct tape it in. Custom wooden mount. I suppose in the future, maybe I could put a little link like this that goes and meets that or something. Right now we're like this. That's not too bad. Ugly. And here is a gas tank that some nice soul sent me for my ugly duckling build, which is, I'll show you. This bike right here, which is the one I put the new seat cover on. Still want to get a thinner piece of foam under there so it kind of takes the wrinkles out, but this one has a real shitty gas tank on it, although it's functioning. The other side, yeah, this side of the tank is all brazed up. It holds, but it's like, this one should probably come off of this bike and go on that bike, but for now it's not gonna. Oh baby, this is getting a little too exciting here. Yeah, I hate it when I do this. All of a sudden it's just like, yeah, I gotta buy parts. I don't want to buy parts. If I can find that engine, I can mock that up. Then we need only about 3,000 other parts. So it's the next morning. It's pouring outside. I figured I'd waste my morning time screwing around with this piece of junk. I got to do something with the front end. I got to see if I can make the front tire work. And what I found is these bushings that I had fit into that bearing. And they kind of stop right there, like there's a bigger piece in there, which is actually kind of ideal. The only thing we need to do is get the length right. Like it's probably going to have to be about like this in order for it to work. And the inside diameter of these is just not big enough to fit over the axle. It's really close, so I'm going to try to bore them out. It's going to make these pretty thin-walled, but let's just see. So I only got 2 of these bushings. I got this long one and this short one here. Can I make a combo and get enough length out of it to make this work? So I put some oil inside of this. And we kind of measured it up to be about 3/8, but it seems to be bigger than 3/8. So whatever the next drill bit up was that I had, I'm boring it out with that. A little at a time. Almost. We'll go up one more size. Hopefully we don't destroy them. We're up to 13:30 seconds. regular machine shop here. We jammed in there. The poor Ryobi was smoking and went through 2 batteries like really quickly. Yeah, so we're gonna get out a corded drill and see if we can get that bit out. Yeah, that took some power, I'll tell you. I mean, it was almost there. It doesn't help too that the walls of the bushing have now gotten thinner, and with the pressure of the vise, it makes them kind of oval. Let's see if this axle goes through now. Hey, nice fit. Okay, we'll do it to the little one too. Well, this one we didn't shoot so straight on. I don't know if I got these bushings at Lowe's, so that I can get some more. But this was the long one, which is most important. I might be able to get 2 bushings out of this, I'm not sure. But yeah, what a great machine shop. Yeah, we got them a little bit out of round by hard to judge. I'm just gonna guess because this won't fit into the bearing anymore. Yeah, son of a bitch. Alright, I tapped this one in and it went in okay. Getting it out might be another story. This is not going to be the right length, but we're just going to see how things line up and maybe take this as a beginning of a measurement, if that makes sense. The tire's about straight between the forks. That's the gap we need to fill, which can probably be left over from that after I cut it crookedly. But yeah, these should actually work well if I can measure this accurately. Okay, I got this great tool here that was my great Uncle Jack's kind of calipers that like have points on the outside, and I'm putting them to try to get the distance between the let me see if I can get you closer here. To get this distance here, measure that from the bearing to the fork leg and get it the same on both sides. And then the only thing we need to determine is how far the bushing sticks into the bearing. Okay, you can kind of see that inside spacer there. That's in there so like when you tighten the bolt, the wheel doesn't get all the pressure on the bearings and wear the bearings out. But I need to measure from the outside of the bearing to inside there with the calipers. Right there we got 69 1/28. I mean, there's got to be something rounded to that, but we'll keep that for now. And what we need to do is add this much more to it. This much more to it. Which, yeah, how am I going to do that? Okay, that distance was very close to 9/16, so that's what I'm going to use as a measurement. Because it's got to be something standard, right? Maybe. You'd think so. Okay, after a bunch of scientific calculations and high-intensity math, I guessed at the length of this. Pretty much. I mean, I rounded off everything I was measuring to come up with this. But this is what I had left over, so I'm not going to be able to make 2 out of this. I don't think. I mean, that's what I'll have there. Can you see that? No, you can't see that at all. Okay, that's what I'm going to have there as an extension, and that's what I'm going to have there. Let's get out the scientific instruments I don't know how to use again. So we'll have that, and we'll have, yes, son of a bitch, get over here. Okay, we'll have, jeez, I don't know, I might have enough to do it. We'll leave that little piece out for now. I stuck the little one in there, and look it. That's not bad at all. Smooth as butter. Yeah, that was the easy part, really. Took too long for the easy part, but what we really got to be concerned about is getting some ball bearings in here, and I don't think that's a race off the 50. I think that's a race from the this front end, from the Chappie front end, and I think I could probably find some ball bearings that would fit in there, but this is the issue up here, because that looks like that's the top race up there, or maybe that's just a cover or something. Yeah, definitely missing crap up there. And I don't know when I can pull out of my bag of tricks to fix that thing. Here's the tag for this Honda. So it's missing the date, which would be on this top corner of the tag here. It does have a serial number on it, but I know those are vague. It's got to be a KO, those series. Another factor in this build is this frame is actually very straight and a lot nicer than the one on the Ugly Duckling, and I was thinking that I should do a swap. I should use this frame on the Ugly Duckling because it's more complete. Put the better parts on the Ugly Duckling and put the crappier parts on this one. It's kind of the way to build things. Of course, that's a lot of work, and that would be like, okay, you're going to have the frames apart. You should paint them at that point. I was thinking, you know, most of the Z50s, the frames are painted the same color as the tank. You know, candy red, candy yellow, candy green, candy blue. Actually, there was no green. Maybe I'll do them green. But I was thinking I'd do my frame silver, and then I could use any color I wanted to on the tank. Yeah, this poor frame, I think it was backed over by a car or something. It's on the other side. Hang on. On this side of it, I brought it to a guy who's a good welder, and he straightened it the best he could. Put all this blobular weld in there. Actually, that might have been there. But, you know, one back here. I think I ground them down a while ago. But yeah, this frame was really beat. It's also missing the steering stop up here, which hangs down from here to bang into those little things. So I put these in here. Just they stop right on the fork right there. They just bang into it. Hey, it works, but so this frame is definitely not as good as the other frame. But I also kind of love the way it looks. Ratty, like me.